The Jesus you may not know. Is he King of the Jews or King of Kings? Jesus is the King whose power is absolute, whose reign is infinite, and whose throne is unconquerable. He's an indescribable King, for he eternally reigns without beginning of days, or ending of life. Yet he is said to have been born a king, and died a king. Revelation chapter 1 verse 5 says, He's the ruler over the kings of the earth. He is our Messiah, our intercessor, the compassionate servant, humble teacher, and selfless Savior. Without his supreme and sovereign rule, our lives would sink into chaos. He is King of kings, and Lord of lords. He is King of the Jews. There are 2 times in the life of Jesus when he is referred to as the King of the Jews. Number 1, Matthew chapter 2 verses 1 and 2. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying,
Where is he who has been born King of the Jews?
Local rabbis told them about Micah's prophecy of Bethlehem as the birthplace of Jesus, so the Magi traveled to Bethlehem. Matthew chapter 2 verse 11. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then, opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Even in his infancy, Jesus was a king. Others become kings upon the death of another, but Jesus was born a king. Number 2, Matthew chapter 27 verse 11. Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him,
Are you the King of the Jews?
Jesus replied,
It is as you say.
In Mark chapter 15 verse 9, Pilate said,
Do you want me to release for you the King of the Jews?
Then in Mark chapter 15 verse 12, Pilate said,
What shall I do with the man you call the King of the Jews?
In Mark chapter 15 verse 13, the crowd shouted,
Crucify him.
Pilate handed Jesus over for crucifixion along with an order for the executioners to nail a sign to the top of the cross. Mark chapter 15 verse 26. A sign announced the charge against him. It read, The King of the Jews. In John chapter 19 verse 21, the chief priests objected and demanded that Pilate change the inscription. They said,
Change it from the King of the Jews, to, He said, I am King of the Jews.
In John chapter 19 verse 22, Pilate replied,
No, what I have written, I have written.